Nothing can hinder nurturing every learner. Together we soar, make dreams score. Amidst the challenge we face, the journey of learning leads the race. Education for all, let it rise, not fall. This is Deped Radio Escuela on air in DZXR 89.8, member KPP, Association of the School Broadcasters in the Philippines. Tell me and I forget, show me and I remember, enfold me and I learn. A code that has the power to enable you, dear grade 7 students in English, excel in distant learning with today's educational episode. A blissful day to you. Do you long for a day of 100% fun, 100% learning, and 100% involvement? Perfect choice of tuning in today to our school on air in English 7. I am Sir Jerry A. Ragmac Jr., your radio teacher from Rizal National High School, renowned for its bottle cry, "It's here where heroes are made." I will facilitate you in maximizing your participation as you learn today's lesson with ease. Getting the most of today's educational episode, I request you all to LISTEN. Listen. L. Look for a comfortable place where you can hear me as I teach via radio. I. Immerse yourself in learning the lesson by avoiding distractions like unnecessary use of cell phones and the like. S. Stay focused until the end of the episode. T. Take note of the key ideas that will enable you to perform properly the tasks provided. E. Evaluate your understanding of the lesson by performing the activities with your parents' guidance. And N. Never forget to have fun while learning. Have you acknowledged the big difference small things bring to your lives? At this moment, I would like you to spare a little attention to these things around you, no matter how ordinary they may seem, as they have proven themselves vital in enjoying life. I request you to look around and feel your environment. Yes, you're doing it right. Let your eyes journey to and fro, your ears listening to my soft voice, your nose enjoying the aroma of a sumptuous food, and your hands feeling the warmth or coldness of something they touch. Have you activated your senses? I hope so. Before I continue, I just want to make sure you still LISTEN. Listen. Well, I am keeping my fingers crossed. Based on the activity you performed, I would like you to remember what you have seen, smelled, heard, and touched to derive information that will complete these unfinished statements. Page is to book, as keypad is to blank. Next, ear is to blank, as eyes is to television. The last one is vegetable is to blank, as water is to drinks. In accomplishing the task, you are given a minute, which starts now. Your time is up. Kindly check whether your answers are alike with what I will reveal. Page is to book, as keypad is to cell phone. Ear is to radio, as eyes is to television. Vegetable is to food, as water is to drinks. Have you arrived with correct responses? How is that possible? You're right! You came up with the items cell phone, radio, and food as details gathered when you recalled what you have seen, smelled, heard, and touched by knowing the relationship of the first group of words with the second group of terms. This way, have you made comparisons? Exactly. The first pair of terms is related to the second pair of words for being a part of the whole, for its function, and so with its class. Were you able to follow? I am certain, for I know you LISTEN. Listen.
Virus, go away. I don't need you anyway. Little summer must be healthy. Virus, go away. COVID-19, go away. We never need you anyway. All the children must be healthy. Virus, go away.
You are still tuning in to your School on Air with your radio teacher, Sir Jerry, always at the service for the Filipino learners. Today, our lesson is focused on identifying relationships or making comparisons between two pairs of things that are usually different from each other but have common traits, called from English 7 Learning Activity Sheet based on MELC-1. The commonly used types of analogy that are potent in developing your vocabulary skills are synonym, part to whole, antonym, and cause-effect relationship. At the end of this 30-minute educational episode, you are expected to supply other words that complete an analogy. So, our dear grade 7 students, are you ready to LISTEN? Great! Let us make the most out of this episode. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. God's creations are all marvelous, and among them, you are His precious one. Let us proceed to our lesson through a poem titled, God Said, I Made a Man, by Jose Garcia Villa. Take note of the following guide questions you need to answer. These will serve as our points of discussion after I am done sharing the piece to you. Here is the first question. What attribute of God is discussed in the poem? The second question is, how did God react to the ingratitude of His creations? Finally, the third question is, what is or what are the theme or the themes of the poem? I will now read the poem, so you need to LISTEN. I repeat, I will now read the poem, so you need to listen. God Said, I Made a Man, by Jose Garcia Villa. God said, I made a man out of clay, but so bright he spun himself to the brightest day, till he was all shining gold, and oh, he was handsome to behold. But in his hands held a bow, aimed at me, who created him. And I said, wouldn't thou murder me, who am thy fountainhead? Then spoke he, the man of gold, I will not murder thee, I do but measure thee. Hold thy peace, and this I hid, but I was curious of this so regal head. Give thy name, Sir Genius. Have you grasped the idea in the poem? Our dear learners, there is only one way to find out. Let us have the answers you provided. Thank you for your affirmation. We now begin with question 1. How is God described in the poem? God is Almighty, for He created everything that is in heaven and on earth, which includes man, His precious masterpiece. Is your answer correct? I am positive about it. How about God's reactions when He learned of His creation's ingratitude? Brilliant! God was wounded deeply because of how His beloved creation changed into a prideful being. Finally, prove that you dug the selection's theme through your answer. Impressive! The themes are ingratitude and pride. Do you now comprehend the entirety of the poem? Help me discover it as you perform the exercises on analogy. In successfully accomplishing the tasks, it is my anticipation that you will be able to improve your vocabulary skills, speed up your reading comprehension, address higher order thinking skills, and develop your verbal reasoning abilities. My dear grade 7 students, let us escalate your level of understanding on analogy as we journey through the related exercises, beginning with what's inside the box. Locate in your learning activity sheet the exercise titled What's Inside the Box. Found it? Nice! I will now read the directions. I repeat, I will now read the instructions, so be reminded of our golden rule. LISTEN. Let me proceed. Provide synonymous words to the given terms called from the poem. God said, I made a man, to complete the sets of analogy. Refer to the sentences provided to arrive at the correct answers. Find out the letters inside the box that correspond to the numbers given on top. Finally, arrange the jumbled letters to come up with the term being asked for. After reading each item, you are given 30 seconds to answer. Let us proceed. Peace is to serenity, as behold is to blank. You're a wonder to behold. Provide the synonym of behold. Decode the numbers 5, 5, 18, 16, 3, 22, 5, and 9. Arrange the jumbled letters after. What is the answer? Correct! It is perceive. Behold means perceive. Let us have item 2. God is creator, as man is to blank. Man is considered God's beloved masterpiece. Provide the synonym of the man by decoding the number 15, 13, 18, 1, 20, 12. Arrange them after. What is it? Good. Man is same with mortal. How about vivid is to bright, as fountainhead is to blank. God is recognized as the fountainhead of everything that exists on earth and in heaven. Decode the numbers 21, 15, 18, 3, 5, 19. What is the synonym? Amazing! Fountainhead is like with the word source. Since I can sense that you enjoy your involvement in this activity, let me now read the fourth item. Brilliant is to gifted, as inquisitive is to blank. RJ stared at Olive with wondering and inquisitive eyes, but said nothing. The numbers you need to decode are 9, 15, 21, 21, 3, 18, 19. And your answer? Fantastic! Inquisitive is similar to curious. Let us now end this activity with the last item. Fascination is to imagination, as aim is to blank. You must aim high to hit high. You have to decode the digits 7, 1, 12, 14. Your answer, dear learners? Perfect. Aim means goal. Did you have fun performing this exercise? Certainly, I also felt the same as I facilitated this activity. Therefore, did you understand the first type of analogy? Based on the exercise, what type of analogy is applied? Correct! It is synonym, where the relationship between two pairs of words lies in the meaning of the words in each pair being alike. Meanwhile, its counterpart is what they think. Wild guess! It is indeed antonym analogy. Can you again guess its meaning? Bright idea! In this type of analogy, the relationship between two pairs of terms is established through the meanings of the words and each pair being opposite. Taken from your LAS is the example. Calm is to violence, as peace is to conflict. Calm and violence are opposite in meaning, and so with conflict and calmness, building their relatedness into their contrasting meanings. The same relationship is observed in the remaining examples under this type of analogy in your LAS. Have you gauged the idea? Of course you did. Did I feed your hunger to learn while having fun? I am hopeful of your positive responses. Let us therefore move to the next type of analogy, which is part to whole. Please locate in your learning activity sheet the exercise titled Finding God's Creation, and again, apply the fundamentals of tuning into our episode. You must LISTEN. Listen. Alright, have you now found the exercise? Good. Let me now read the directions. Loop all the creations of God that you can spot from the pool of words to fill in the incomplete analogies stated as tail is to dog, as claw is to black. Child is to family, as student is to black. Sand is to beach, as water is to blank. Corn is to cob, as pea is to black. And leaf is to flower, as twig is to black. You are given 5 minutes to do the task, and your time starts now. Are you now ready to evaluate your answers? Alright, listen to them. I'll repeat, listen to the answers. Tail is to dog, as claw is to cat. Child is to family, as student is to class. Sand is to beach, as water is to ocean. Corn is to cob, as pea is to bean. And leaf is to flower, as twig is to tree. How many get a perfect score? It is just fine if you haven't perfected it. There are still other tasks prepared for you, so stay attentive until the end of the episode. Based on the exercise, what do you think is the analogy applied? Great! It is part to whole, which means a part of something is compared to the whole in a way similar to another part of something that is compared to another whole. Do we deepen your understanding of analogy? Of course we do. I am sure you want more from this interesting topic. Request granted. Another type of analogy commonly used to benefit students like you is cause and effect. This shows how one thing causes another. This is shown by an item taken from exercise 4 of your LAS. Humility is to salvation, as pride is to downfall. In the text taken from the same sheet, salvation of mankind is the effect of being humble, which is the reason or cause of the said redemption. The same thing is observed for the rest of the items in the said activity. Have you understood this type of analogy? I hope so. Have I enlightened you now regarding analogy, its purpose, and its types? Yes. So can you enumerate the types of analogy discussed? What are they? Precisely. They are synonym, antonym, part to whole, and cause-effect relationship. Did you have fun? Nice. Were you involved? Good. Have you learned? Great.
Coronavirus is most likely to spread from person to person when we come into close contact with one another. We can all help stop the spread by keeping our distance. This means do not shake hands or exchange physical greetings, and wherever possible, stay at least 1.5 meters away from others. It's also really important to practice good hygiene, especially after being in public places. Together, we can help stop the spread and stay healthy. Visit health.gov.au to learn more.
You were just informed on how you can stay safe amidst the threat posed by COVID-19. Since you were made cognizant of our topic, analogy, its types and purposes, let us test whether you can now apply what you learned in accomplishing Exercise 6, Craft Something from Nothing. Have you located the activity? Good. I will now communicate the directions. Create 5 sets of analogy related to God and His creations which start with the English alphabet provided. The first item is done for you, which you may include in the sets you are to create. You may use your dictionary as an aid in answering and in checking your answers after 5 minutes. Our dear parents, your guidance can make a difference on how well your children can accomplish the task. Kindly provide assistance. Thank you. Okay, since 5 minutes is over, it is now time for us to reveal the answer to the exercise. Concerning synonym and antonym analogies, you may refer to your dictionary. Regarding the types, part to whole, and cause-effect analogies, you may likewise discern whether your answers belong to these types through how you understood them based on the discussion aside from using the dictionary. Here are the possible answers but are not limited to them. Can't wait to see the answers? Alright, let me give them to you. The sets of analogies under synonym type are arrogance is to egotism, as annoyance is to anger. Angel is to divine, as holy is to sacred. Ape is to monkey, as creation is to formation. Ash is to remains, as ground is to earth. And authority is to power, as preserver is to protector. Are your answers the same with what I have just told you? If some of your responses are not the same as those I have mentioned, don't worry, for you still have the chance to get higher scores when I reveal the next set of answers under antonym. They are birth is to death, as blessing is to condemnation. Bone is to flesh, as best is to worst. Beast is to angel, as wild is to tame. Breath is to death, as heaven is to hell. Beauty is ugliness, as wonder is to interestedness. How are your answers and scores? Good job! Let us see whether your performance has improved with the next set of analogy under part to whole. These are cherubim is to heaven, as man is to earth. Chest is to body, as nose is to face. Church is to society, as country is to continent. creature is to devil, as angel is to heaven. Citizen is to place, as individual is to humanity. Any change in your scores? Alright, let us have the final set under cause-effect analogy. Here they are. Doom is to sufferings, as repentance is to redemption. Death is to rebirth, as pride is to downfall. Dream is to creation, as sin is to death. Desire is to punishment, as sacrifice is to return. Doubt is to wavering faith, as to trust is to unwavering faith. Did you get high scores? Wow, that's the reward of observing the golden rule for this episode, and that is to LISTEN, listen. So, that's how you learn analogy in the new normal way. Your scores reflect how far you have gone in comprehending the topic. Let me discover whether you have attained the competency from your learning activity sheet on analogy through the outputs that you will be submitting. Your escalated level of comprehension on analogy defines my effectiveness as your radio teacher. Although, you must always bear in mind that there are better things than getting high scores. What is important is you learn from your mistakes and become better learners at the end. As a final reminder for you, dear learners, kindly accomplish the remaining tasks on your learning activity sheets. Make sure they will be dropped in the designated areas on the day of submission. Until the next episode of 100% Fun, 100% Learning, and 100% Involvement, this is your teacher on air, Sir Jerry A. Ragmac Jr. from Rizal National High School, famous for its potted cry. It's here where heroes are made. For School on Air in Grade 7 English. Never stop studying your lessons, as an investment in knowledge will pay you the best interest. Goodbye, everyone! Promoting education for today's generation. In the road of educating young minds, no learner will be left behind. So come and tune into Radio Escuela.